This is the story of one of history's most chilling mysteries, the Lost Colony of Roanoke. A group of settlers vanished without leaving a single body, only a cryptic word carved into wood. Was it starvation, war, betrayal, or something darker that consumed them? This tale will take you deep into the fears and hopes of those early colonists, and the haunting silence they left behind. The story begins in the late 16th century, when England was eager to expand its empire. Spain had grown rich from its colonies in the Americas, and Queen Elizabeth I wanted her own foothold in the New World. Sir Walter Raleigh was granted permission to establish a settlement across the Atlantic. In 1585, the first attempt to colonize Roanoke Island, off the coast of present-day North Carolina, began. It was a daring venture, but the settlers soon ran into trouble. Supplies ran low, relations with local tribes soured, and the colony barely survived. The colony was abandoned, but Raleigh was determined not to give up. In 1587, a second expedition set sail, this time led by John White. This group was different. It included families, women, and children, a sign that this was meant to be a permanent home. Among the settlers was White's own daughter, Eleanor Dare, who would soon give birth to Virginia Dare, the first English child born in America. For the colonists, this birth was a symbol of hope. For us, it is a reminder of how much they had to lose. Soon after their arrival, trouble struck again. Food was scarce, and the settlers relied on local tribes for help. Some were friendly, others hostile, and tensions escalated quickly. John White returned to England later in 1587 to seek supplies. He promised his people he would return quickly, but fate had other plans. England was preparing for war with Spain, and the mighty Spanish Armada delayed his voyage for years. White did not make it back until 1590. By then, 3 long years had passed. When his ship finally anchored off Roanoke Island, what he found shocked him. The settlement was deserted. Houses stood empty, fences were broken, and grass had grown wild where families once lived. There were no bodies, no signs of battle, no graves. The colony had simply vanished. The only clue was carved into a wooden post, the word CROATOAN. Another carving, the letters CRO, was found on a nearby tree. There was no cross or distress mark, which had been the settlers' agreed signal for danger. White believed this meant the settlers had moved to CROATOAN Island, modern Hatteras Island, home to a friendly tribe. But a storm was approaching, and the ship's captain refused to search further. John White never saw his daughter or granddaughter again. The fate of the colony became one of history's greatest mysteries. Some believe the settlers integrated with native tribes, blending into local cultures. Oral traditions from tribes in the region speak of pale-skinned people joining their communities. Others argue the settlers met a darker end. Attacks by hostile tribes, disease, or starvation could have wiped them out. With no records, no bones, and no graves, these theories remain speculation. Another possibility is that they tried to sail back to England on their own. Without skilled sailors or enough provisions, their attempt may have ended tragically at sea. The ocean may still hold their final resting place. Centuries later, archaeologists are still searching for answers. Artifacts have been discovered on Hatteras Island, suggesting some settlers may indeed have survived there. Pieces of English pottery and weapons tell part of the story, but not all. In recent years, new evidence has surfaced. A map drawn by John White was found to have hidden markings, possibly pointing to another settlement site inland. Excavations there have uncovered intriguing objects, but no definitive proof. The Lost Colony of Roanoke continues to capture imaginations. It was the first English settlement in America, and its disappearance is a haunting reminder of the dangers of colonization. Dreams of empire collided with the brutal realities of survival. For the settlers, Roanoke was meant to be a new beginning. Instead, it became a symbol of uncertainty, loss, and unanswered questions. Families who risked everything for hope left nothing but silence. The word CROATOAN has since become a legend. From books to television, it is a symbol of mystery and disappearance. Some even believe the colony was cursed, swallowed by supernatural forces. In truth, the answer may be far simpler or far darker. Starvation, war, assimilation, or tragedy at sea. Any of these could have ended the colony. Yet without evidence, the silence speaks louder than the theories. The lost colony was a beginning that ended before it could truly start. And perhaps that is why its story endures. It is not just about what was lost, but about what might have been. Even now, Roanoke's ghost lingers. Tourists visit the island, staring at the same soil where settlers once stood. Archaeologists dig, historians debate, and storytellers keep the legend alive. But the mystery remains unsolved. In England, the disappearance was both a scandal and a tragedy. Critics blamed Raleigh for abandoning his settlers, while others blamed White for leaving them behind. The truth is that they were victims of circumstance, caught between an empire's ambition and the brutal wilderness of the New World. For native peoples, the story was equally complex. Some tribes may have helped the settlers, while others saw them as intruders. The mystery of Roanoke cannot be separated from the larger clash of cultures that shaped the Americas. The fate of Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the New World, became part of folklore. Some legends claimed she grew up among native tribes, others that she was transformed into a white deer by spirits. Her story became a symbol of innocence lost. The Roanoke mystery also had a chilling effect on future colonists. When Jamestown was founded years later, settlers remembered what had happened at Roanoke. Fear of vanishing into the wilderness haunted them constantly. Perhaps the most haunting part of the story is its silence. No survivor returned to tell the tale. No letter, no diary, no voice from the colony has ever been found. Only the carvings remain, mocking us with their emptiness. And so, Roanoke is remembered as much for what we do not know as for what we do. It is a puzzle that may never be solved, a reminder that history is filled with shadows as well as light. The lost colony of Roanoke stands as a question carved into history. Were they destroyed, or did they survive? Did they vanish into the wilderness, or into legend? The silence of Roanoke is its answer, and its curse.